It's kind of like the bad girls too, though. I feel like also.
Do
you like bad girls?
Bad guys are bullies.
No.
I don't like.
And maybe because I don't think bad girls like me.
Wow.
You know, I think you like who likes you.
Eventually.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Because like if you go after somebody that no one wants to go up and get embarrassed.
Yeah. True.
So normally when you date somebody, they approach you first.
Pretty much. I don't. It's not. It's kind of. It's more kind of. I don't go after it if it happens organically.
She gotta like let you know, like if you ask me out, I'm saying yes.
I'm really.
So you rather.
I don't make moves.
Because you don't want to get rejected. Is that what?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh.
Don't make it
sad.
First of all, who's rejecting BabyFace?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I
crazy.
don't understand.
Who's going to reject Mr. Whipperpill?
Yeah, exactly.
The nerve.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere to get the lies, but I know you came here to get the truth. Welcome to the Alphasphere. Welcome to the Alphasphere, the only place on the planet that's totally engulfed in positivity and totally submerged in alpha energy. I'm your host, Dr. B.O.A. Now, I remember D-Wade. I remember his first wife. I remember the way his boys looked. I remember the way his family looked. I remember the way his family was run. And it's a far cry from what I see now. His son Zion has become his daughter Zaya. And that's not all. Now, he has legally filed to have his son become his daughter completely. Now I ask you, if this wasn't a thought, if this wasn't an ideology, I saw none of this in his son Zion. Take a look. Look at that kid. Now, do you see this? You don't. The problem is we're too worried about normal and not worried about right. Not worried about righteous. We're too worried about allowing everybody to do whatever it is they want to do, so no one has to live by any set standard or set rule. And this is all good for the women who believe they're starting to take control of this society. Now, household by household, there is evidence that this is taking place. When you look at Dwyane Wade's son Zion now being his daughter Zaya, and look at the influence that Gabrielle Union had in that household.
If they could see me now, a little gang of mine.
Now, what you see in this quick piece is a woman who is in her 50s and now starting to behave like a teenager.
And when my internship ended, they were like, would you ever consider being like one of our clients and us representing you? And mind you, I had such low self-esteem. I wanted to be a video host so bad. Like,
what you hear is a woman who is admitting that because her self-esteem was so low, the barrier for entry for her for validation was just to be a video model. She didn't care about anything else. She figured if she could get on a rapper's video, then she would magically start to feel good about herself. Now, I want you to think about what kind of low entry barrier that is. That's the type of thing that exotic dancers strive for. That's this type of thing that we talk about with the whole IG thought model, who makes all of her validation points from showing her body in a specific way. So she didn't want to do something that would give her any type of feeling of being classy. She just wanted to be a video bride. Let's get back into this.
Like, that's all I wanted. I didn't want to be in movies. I didn't want to be in commercials. I wanted to be the chosen video hoe. And, well, that's what we called them then. Now they are video vixens, IG models. Yeah, but I wanted to be like a hot bitch, except I lacked all of the necessary accoutrement, like big boobs or an ass.
Now, I want you to think about in this society, man, how we have marginalized women's beauty by the size of their butts. And I'm gonna be honest with you, me myself, I'm not a huge butt man. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want a chick to be built up like my 11-year-old boy cousin, but I do want a woman who has room to grow. Like, I'm not really interested in meeting a woman who is already as thick as I would like her to be. Because here's the thing. You never know how thick you want a woman to be. And those things are just good to look at. They're more good to look at than anything. And if you look at them long enough, yes, you can arouse yourself with them. But the reality of the scenario is that whole big butt thing is really an Americanized concept. I keep telling you men all the time, the average weight of an adult internationally outside of the US is 136 pounds. I think the men are like 151 and the women are like 123 or something like that. And it averages out to 136 for adults worldwide. The average weight for a woman in America is in the 150s, 156, I think. So let's be realistic. We're not talking about this idea of beauty that's international. It's a pretty Americanized thing. And we know that anything that is all American has been perpetuated by the powers that be in the media, social media, etc. Let's keep on.
It wasn't really the desired look at the time. Like, I was literally, auditioning for like California Love video with Tupac and 20 of his closest.
So you fell into a really successful acting career when you wanted to be a video host.
Yeah, trying to be in music video. I was like, let me try, my hand at acting. And I have a photographic memory and, memorizing like Saved by the Bell scripts, not that hard. So I started booking things right away, and they were like, okay, this is something. So they had made up a fake resume before they sent me out on an audition, and they were like, with each job you get, we'll take a fake thing off. And pretty soon my resume was real, and I was just working nonstop. But I just wanted to be California Love video.
Because he see me through. Oh God! So I got divorced, and
I was trying to get out.
Like other divorced people, you have a mental bucket list. I had a bucket list of diddles.
I was saying, are we keeping it 100?
Let's keep it a buck. I was like, here is my deep. What do they call it? The Red Sea Scrolls. Of gentlemen callers, I would like to check their avails on. Check their pulse. And Shaka was like, about 99.99% of that list are fuckboys. And I was like, yes, exactly. I feel tall enough to enjoy this ride. I will strap in, and I will hold my arms up. And I'll buy the picture at the end of the ride.
At 3 years old, like I said, when me and my wife looked at each other, right? And the reason we looked at each other is because of this, as kids, I used to put on heels. I used to do all those things. I try to put on whatever my sisters wear. When one of my sisters did, I try to do those things.
But that's just not the case. You see, I don't care what anyone does, but don't try to perpetuate that what you do is normal for the rest of us, and then have a problem when we don't accept it. Because we're not required to accept anything but our own normal. And the same way you accept that as your normal, or you accept whatever else you have to accept as your normal, it is perfectly fine for me to say, okay, this is not my normal. I don't want to accept that.
Dwyane, I love what you said of Gabrielle, your beautiful wife. You said, it's not my job to change who she is. It's my job to be a part of the evolution. That was good. It was deep, babe.
In relationships, we come in and we try to change people. We try to change them to the way that we want them to be. But I decided to start taking a different approach, in this relationship. I think early on I came in like, hey, you get 2 drink max, bop. And she didn't respond well to that.
No, I did not.
It was reasons for that too. Let me say that.
I have a good time. Life of the party right here.
It's not the man leads and the woman follows. That's not what we live in this house, at all. So for me, I have a wife that works just not just as hard, harder than I. And she had her own career. She had her own life before I came along. So from my perspective, it was like, okay, how can I be a part of the growth and the evolution of who she is, and not trying to change her or stunt her growth or make her in the way that I see fit.
When we think about things like this, man, we have to keep one thing in mind. No matter what's said, actions speak louder than words. So whether he had ever said this or not, we already knew that his woman ran his household, but we did not know that he was such a willing participant in the demise of his own manhood and the manhood of his sons. See, what you have to understand is the energy that a woman permeates in any environment is the energy of who she is. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
Now, I'm not gonna tell you, man, that you shouldn't value your woman at all. A woman does have value, but you can't overvalue her and convince yourself that she brings more value to your life than you bring to hers.